A Court of Fairies and Fiction. Akafath Girls Podcast. Hosts Mel Liv and Aka. A bookish theory and discussion podcast for the ACOTAR, Crescent City, and Tug series, as well as other romantasy books. Season 3, Episode 6, The Weight of Guilt and Moral Responsibility.
Hello, everybody. We are back. I have a couple very interesting things to talk about, and I have been so excited to film because I jotted down a few things that I thought about recently, and a lot of them I was like, how did this never cross our minds before? It was just weird. But I'm going to start with what happened today, other than reaching 9,700 followers on Instagram. I'm so close to 10K. So close. But I think I told you guys this over text, but I want to see what the people think. I, as you know, have an Etsy and a Redbubble shop. And I had been waiting for the approval on my designs for a while because, as we all know, Sarah J. Maas is moving to a huge merch company, IMG, which will be handling all of her intellectual property things. So when my contract with her current team ends now, we're going to have to see what IMG lets us do, like the small businesses with a contract with her now. Because her team had emailed me and they were like, well, everybody who has a contract, they were like, all right, well, when everybody's contracts is up, like IMG is taking over, so we don't really know what they're going to be doing yet, you know? Kind of makes me uncomfortable. They're like,
taking over.
Yeah.
When are they taking over? Because if there's a date, we may find out when the official book announcement is.
Ooh. I think they already have, but the only difference is that people who have current contracts with her current team, they're going to allow to keep until they expire. And then we have to move over to IMG. So I'm going to have to ask her, like, is there an email for the IMG team? Or, because we haven't really gotten confirmation of anything yet, but she just said, oh, yours expires in November. So then whatever they want to do, whatever. I know that Sparrow and Wild, she did a reel about this and how everything's kind of uncertain. And I think hers expires in, like, I don't know, September or August, a little before mine, maybe. So nobody really knows what's going to happen. I guess we'll see. But anyways, they had sent out that email and they're like, oh, if you had emailed us with any designs or whatever, you know, after you send your June quarterlies, resend whatever designs you had sent so we can approve them. Because remember when I said, why aren't they approving them? Because she was like, oh, well, wait a month. Remember how I said that was really weird? Because they always like immediately do that. I was like, that's weird. What's happening there? Because that was really odd. And then we found out that IMG was taking over, which makes sense now. But anyways, I got my designs approved, but as they always do, they went through the entire file of designs that I had, and she pointed out a couple of the Tamlin ones that I had that was like, oh, I love you, thorns and all. And she was like, oh, you missed the commas. You need to go fix them. And I was like, okay, like they're so meticulous. You have no idea. They go through everything. You missed the commas, and then in one of the Elaine ones, I missed like a T in one of the words, so she had me go and fix them or whatever. All the rest of the designs, you're good to go, right? You want to guess what one of my designs was? I know you guys already know what it was. I did a design where, and I did a reel on this on my Instagram, Books and Writing. If you want to go look at it, it's probably a little bit far down by the time this episode premieres, so whatever. But I did a design where there is like Rhys with his wings out, right? But it's half Rhys as a high fae, as himself, and half Rhys as a Valg demon. And on the bottom it says Rhysand in like creepy letters, and then under that, kind of like a Star Wars poster, it says like Return of the Valg, right? And they approved it. Her SJMs merch team approved it. And I was talking to Kathy, one of my really nice beta readers, and she loves every character. She doesn't really hate on anyone or anything, and she loves all the theories and stuff. So she's totally neutral in this, right? And so I told her this, and she's like, so that means you're kind of right then, right? Because she wouldn't really approve it if you weren't, right? I was like, I don't know. Do you think that's like an offhand confirmation? And she's like, well, if you think about it, if somebody was doing artwork for your book and they were saying that like your main character was a leprechaun and they're clearly not a leprechaun, you probably wouldn't approve it because he's not a canonical leprechaun, right? And I was like, well, that's true. So, what do we think? What do you think? I don't know if I should.
I want to make a motion that, like, instead of calling Rhys Shadow Daddy, we call him Valg Daddy.
Valg Daddy.
And we dropped it because, like, I am all for Rhys's villain era to come back and for him to be he was a good villain.
He was a good villain.
He
was like a creepy good villain.
A creepy good villain. And if he comes to terms with his Valg farm like we think is going, maybe it'll help even him out and balance him out, and he won't, in my opinion, be so jealous of Tamlin for being able to hold his own for the most part, somewhat, not really, maybe, at least more so than him.
Yeah. I mean, it worries me just because, like, I feel like before ACOWAR, he was leveled, but then after ACOWAR, this is where we're seeing the loss of control. And because, again, you can't come back to life with absolutely no consequence. And he didn't lose his magic and he didn't lose, like, his Fey form, right? So he had to have lost something. And it makes sense that he lost a lot of that control over his Valg because of how he acted in Akasif and Hofas especially. He keeps rising in, I say unhingedness because I really don't have another word for it, but he just keeps getting like worse in terms of loss of control and loss of normalcy, I guess, in terms of his baseline, which was never, ever ragey.
He's lost his nerve.
Yeah.
I know I told you guys this, and I still stand by it. I really want a book. I mean, of course, we don't know until it's announced, but I would really love a book where it's not romantic, it's platonic, it's an allyship, kind of like how Dorian and Kale are like blood brothers. And like when they say I love you, it's not romantic, it's just like, it's what you say to a brother. And it's so powerful and it's so sweet. And I really want that for Tamlin and Rhys. And I want them both to heal in that scenario. Like, Hamlin helps Rhys heal with the Valg. Rhys helps Tamlin heal. They help each other heal from, like, the crap that both their families had to do because their dads were both powerful High Lords and absolute dicks.
Yeah.
And just be cycle and be friends again. I want that.
Well, and I think I've said this before too, like on kind of piggybacking off of that, Eka, and I completely agree with you. I want that book. I want that book more than I want any book, truly, like any of the ships as well. But I think that the reason that there's so much hatred between Rhys and Tamlin is because they were really, really hurt from
they
what
know
happened.
Each other best. That's why.
Yes. And I think they miss each other. Like, I truly think they miss each other as friends. And I know that sounds crazy because we give Rhys a really hard time, like on this podcast. Like we give him a hard time, but I think they were best friends.
I think so too. And like, they act like best friends who've broken up.
Yeah.
As usual, I will play literal devil's advocate here. for the moment.
Advocate. Oh,
Valg's advocate, real quick. Or not even really Valg's advocate. More Beast's advocate, I guess. I wouldn't have minded that. My only problem is I think the only way we would get that is if it was a prequel and seeing their past friendship. And I only say that because I don't possibly see anybody coming back from, a situation where someone you once trusted and knew as a friend actively tried to get you to kill yourself.
yeah.
After stealing the person you were in love with, mind fucking her, sexually assaulting her, threatening your other best friend and his mother, helping to destroy your court. I don't see any possible way of
Yeah.
him coming back from that. Because I've cut people off for less. It's like, if you're gonna do shit to me and then not feel any remorse, you're fucking dead to me. I don't care. You're fucking dead to me. So I can't imagine, even as forgiving and as moral as Tamlin is, where he did bring Rhys back to life, he's not going to be as petty to let him die, even though he did all that shit to him. I don't see them coming back and being best friends after Rhys stooped to that level. I just don't.
No.
Because that was even after Tamlin brought him back to life. He had absolutely no gratefulness for it, no grace, no tact. He came in with the sole purpose of insulting, degrading, and trying to get Tamlin to off himself. And I have absolutely no respect for that whatsoever. So I would 100% at this point, I would not want Tamlin to be friends with him again. Civil in terms of being High Lords, 100%. You need to be civil politically.
Especially with the Koshi war coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say maybe in the future, if they can be equally as civil and, things can die down and Tamlin gets his own mate and all this shit, perhaps they can be a little more than civil. Not friends, but I want them to be at a point where they can at least tolerate each other in the same room. Because I still think that, because the mother has a sense of humor, I still think that Nyx should be Tamlin's daughter's mate. And that would connect them more as family. But I don't see him accepting him back in as deeply as he was after he pulled all that shit.
That's so heartbreaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he didn't have to do that. There was nothing compelling him to be that awful, except for the fact he wanted to.
It's true.
He could have gone there. He could have kept it to conversation about the wall and how he had to send soldiers to protect the humans and all of this stuff. But he couldn't help himself. And he even tells Feyre, she was like, did you go there to talk about the wall, or did you just want to say those things to him? And he's like, probably both, and maybe to kill him. And like, even Feyre was stunned when he said that.
What did she say again back to him when he admitted that? Because I don't remember that.
It just said that her eyes got wide and she was like shocked. And then she was just like, you're the bigger male most days. No, he isn't.
No.
He isn't the bigger male any day. If he was the bigger male, he wouldn't have even tempted himself by going there. He would have sent somebody else.
Yeah. That's a good point, too. He could have sent... But that's the thing that you see with Rhys and Tamlin every single time is that he could always send somebody else. He could always send somebody else, but he never does. He will never give up an opportunity to go see Tamlin face to face, ever.
To fuck with him. And this began way back in Akamath. I mean, well, technically this began in book 1. Again,
it
we're
did.
going with his obsession with Tamlin, his obsession of taking him down. It's like, you were already even when you killed his mother.
Yeah.
You let your father kill his mother. You knew he was going into their bedroom. You knew the type of man your father was because you've constantly talked about it. But yet you believed him when he said he wasn't going to kill the enemy, when he literally went there to kill the enemy. I don't believe him. But it started way back then, the second they became High Lords, continued into book 1, when he's making them bow. He's threatening Lucien and his mother for no reason, which he doesn't have to do. He's making it hurt when he goes into Feyre's head, because we've seen him go into people's heads without it hurting, without them knowing, and he confirms that he can do that without anybody knowing. So that means he made it hurt on purpose when he didn't know this girl, aside from on Cal and May. Everything he has done has been to destroy Tamlin. When he doesn't even have confirmation that Tamlin was even a part of hurting his family. Yeah, he was forced to go, but he has no idea that he ever touched them, and I don't think he ever would have, because he saved Rhys's life. If he wanted to be petty and he wanted to be awful and he wanted to get revenge, he would have spat on his corpse and walked away. And that's what Rhys never does, because when given the opportunity, he will always hurt somebody. But when given the opportunity, Tamlin will always protect them, regardless of who you are. Even the Hybern camp. He doesn't like Azriel. He doesn't have any stake in Elaine. He didn't know Briar. Hell, Feyre just fucking aided the genocide of his court and left him for his enemy. He still saved all of them. Rhys would never have saved Spring Court people like that. Even Mor confirms this. Mor herself, when they're in the Winter Court with Briar, and she's like, you did a very brave thing in saving Briar. And Feyre goes, oh, anyone would have done it. And Mor said, no, I don't think even I would have done it. I don't think I would have deemed the risk worth it to grab her. The Night Court doesn't care about anybody but themselves. And Mor pretty much confirmed it. So I don't see their morals connecting, because they're on two different sides of the spectrum. And people can try to say Tamlin's the villain all they want, but if you actually just do a chart comparing the actions of the individual actions, without any emotions into it, just writing down their individual actions, you can see how much worse Rhys is than Tamlin.
But wait a minute. Back up. Mor didn't even acknowledge Azriel. That Azriel would probably do that when he already has. What? Does she not really know Az?
She doesn't know anybody because she thinks everybody is a secret the way that she is. But that's the type of person Mor is too. She'll assume that everyone thinks the way she does.
She's afraid of intimacy. That's the thing. That's what she's afraid of.
Mm-hmm. And someone brought up a really good point on Instagram the other day, and I meant to screenshot it, and I forgot, but it was like, oh my God, that was so true. But in Akasif, she is basically saying that, or is it Akawar? No, it's Akasif, I think, or something. From Akawar to Akasif, she says something about Lucien being friends with Jurian and Vasa. I think it's Akasif. And she's like, oh, well, we can't fully trust him anymore because he's friends with them. She says, we can't fully trust Lucien anymore. And then Azriel says later, oh, we can't trust him fully anymore. Kind of saying what Mor said, because he's friends with the humans now, which is weird.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But they were all saving the humans, so...
No shit. So then someone goes, this is really weird coming from Mor when her lover was a human and her grief is over losing her.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the inner circle is so weird. But this is why I say they're unraveling. Because they don't know each other. They can pretend to be this nice, happy, chummy family all they want, but they don't know each other at all. They don't know
Nope.
what Amryn is. They don't know what Rhys is. Cassian, eh, who knows what secrets Cassian has? We barely knew about Tanwyn, right? More?
We
Fuck, we
don't know
know
what
about More
as
and Eris. Who knows? She has a secret fucking house in a land of loyalists that they don't know about. And Azriel is like, y'all are fucking nuts. And he's rebelling. Like, they don't know each other. So if you compare
Mm-hmm.
Tamlin and the Inner Circle, everybody in the fandom is going to be like, the Inner Circle knows each other and they're family, and Tamlin always pulled rank on Lucian and all that. See, this is what's brilliant about Sarah's writing, because she literally had Rhys embody the whole fandom through the narrative.
That was impressive. Like, he demodied through the fourth wall.
Through the fourth wall.
That's impressive.
Because, again, side by side, you tally the times that Tamlin actively pulls rank and the times that Rhys actively pulls rank. Rhys does it almost double the time, or more than double, actually.
You should clock it.
I should
You
on my next
should.
reread. On my
You
next
should
reread, I
clock
should.
Huh.
Because when they're claiming Tamlin's pulling rank, he's really just not really pulling rank. Like when Lucian's like, you need to hurry up and seduce her and for the curse or whatever, and he's like, stop, I'm not doing that to her people. And yeah, he gets pissed at him. But that's not really pulling rank. He's not saying, because I'm High Lord, we're not doing this. He's saying, because of my morals, we're not doing this. Like, there is a difference between I'm not doing this because I don't think it's the right thing to do, and I'm not doing this because you need to listen to me because I'm your boss. Which is what Rhys does.
Rhys does it to Nesta. Rhys does it to Cassian. Rhys does it to Az.
Mm-hmm. Rhys did it to Moore with Eris.
Mm-hmm.
He did when like they let Kieran, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Behind her back. This deal behind her back. Amryn calls him out for that. And I told you this is my favorite Amryn quote, but when she says, you are a sneaky bastard and you always will be, but that doesn't excuse you.
She did call him out. I appreciate
Mhm.
Amryn when she did that.
And then in Akasif, there's a quote from Feyre where I think it's Akasif. Again, Akawar and Akasif, I always confuse like the war talk. But there's a part where he's questioning Amryn. And oh, it's when they're talking about the High King stuff. And he's going, I'm not going to do that. I'm da da da. And Feyre mentally is like, oh, she only recently let him question her. And I'm like, let him? Is he not the High Lord? Who's pulling the strings here? What do you mean,
Literally.
let him? Let him? Odd. Very interesting. But yeah, it's so crazy, but it's so brilliant how she's utterly mind fucked the fandom through the narrative to believe that the Inner Circle are this chummy, happy little group, and that Tamlin's court was so miserable. But you see Tamlin and Lucian like messing around and having picnics and throwing each other in reflection pools, and they have their own hobbies and they have other friends. And then you have the Inner Circle, which like they barely know anybody out of their little circle. And, Rhys has to beat up Cassian when he gets too full of magic. And he threatens Azriel when he doesn't do what he wants him to do. And he pulls rank whenever somebody decides that they know better than him in the war.
Or when they want to pursue certain females, even though probably not a good idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does.
Name one hobby that Rhys has.
Reading.
A hobby.
He
Reading.
studies astronomy.
He doesn't though.
He
On
has
page? On page.
yeah.
Reading. Yes.
He's never just sat and read a book on page.
Yeah, he was in a library reading. Wasn't he?
In
No.
Akamath.
It said that he told when he was relaying to Feyre what happened those initial weeks after he got back from under the mountain. It said he first went to Moor, and then he was saying that he spent weeks in the library.
He was
just
researching for the war, but that's not a hobby. That's something necessary for war. Because then he shows her his map room with the orrery and all the maps, and that's why he was like, nobody's ever seen this because they don't know about my full territory and everything like that. So that wasn't a hobby. That was, oh, we need to prepare for war because Hybern's coming. That wasn't some leisurely sitting down to read a nice little book type thing.
He said that, like aside from that, he has said that he loves reading. And he would spend hours at the library.
When? I don't remember that at all. Lucian said that.
When he and Feyre went to when he was showing Feyre the library.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they were on the 5th floor.
You mean when they were kids? When he was talking about when they were kids and then Cassian was terrified of the pit?
No. He was showing Feyre.
But even still, that's tell, not show. That's tell, not show. We saw Tamlin reciting poems. We saw Tamlin playing the fiddle. We don't see Rhys doing anything leisurely.
No, well, he likes astronomy. He has that orrery in his office, and they said, I thought it was in Silver Flames.
Through Cassian's POV, Cassian claims that when they were younger, he made it himself. But that's all that's said about it. But again, through someone else's tell. That's not on page.
My head canon is that Rhys is actually the one who's been sewing all the dresses.
Yeah, his mom taught him how to be a seamstress.
Why do I love that so much? And I could just see him being like, Feyre would look fabulous in this dress. Like,
well, we know that he's making little magic beans. Oh, and I'm going to make this bean for this purpose, and this bean for this purpose, and this bean for this purpose, and carry him in a little pouch.
Oh my god.
But still, my point stands. That is tell, not show. Tamlin shows us he has hobbies. It does matter.
It doesn't matter. Because, like, if we're told he likes astronomy, then I think it's safe to say he likes astronomy. I don't think we need to physically see him being like coordinate X and Y, you know. Yeah. Has this planet here.
Dude, this guy that likes astronomy forgot he had a fucking history book of Prithian until Akasif. He loves it all right. He fucking forgot that he had the tome about King Theon and the fucking Wild Hunt until Akasif.
I mean, fair, he was reading the inside of Feyre at the time.
Yeah, he reads her brain. He's occupied with people's minds. What are people not understanding?
I really don't think he's like in everyone's minds as we think he is. I don't know. I really just don't think he is. I honestly don't.
Why would we get the line about an expert Daemati can do this and this and this and this, and you would have no idea? What is the purpose of that line then, if it's not going to ever be put to use?
You want to know? I swear, I know that nobody believes me, but I swear that Sarah fucking heard about either us talking or whoever talking about like Rhys reading minds, because she made such a big deal in Hofast about Rhys asking Bryce for consent. Like
in front of the inner circle.
Whole spiel about it.
The first time he ever asked anybody for consent.
The first time he ever asked consent for anything.
That's why I'm saying, like, the Valg in him, as unhinged as it's making him actually decent in a very paradoxical way. Because now finally asking for consent, because now he's in the monster fucking territory.
But I mean,
Tamlin was already
to be fair,
consent, because in the genre of monster fucking, they all ask for consent. That's what Tamlin does. Now, Rhys into that story, so we might get some monster fucking, and finally, we're getting asking for consent. Because
I mean, we were really close when Feyre woke him up from the nightmare in like Valg form. In math. But again, he found a loophole and he read her mind anyway through the Veritas. He's sneaky.
We don't have evidence of that.
Yeah, he used the Veritas orb.
The magical snow globe?
She gave consent, though. She said, I'll show you. And then she showed it. Come to my room, please.
She was like, oh, I'll put it in the globe thing. But then he's like, that's still kind of seeing her memories. And then he was like, before that, he was like, oh, you have the right to decline, but I have the right to keep you down here without fucking food and shit. Like, that's not consent. That's an ultimatum.
Come here,
again,
please.
like Nesta. It's an ultimatum.
Wait a minute.
Like, I can fucking let you starve in here, or you can let me read your mind. Like, what?
Rhys reads minds without consent most of the time.
I'll be back.
Why didn't he read Tamlin's? Because he would have totally taken that opportunity, and I don't understand why he didn't.
The same reason why he won't read Lucian's, because he claims it's too dark and depressing. That's what Feyre says in the Spring Court. She's like, I wouldn't want to go into his head. Like, bitch, you're the cause of it. What are you talking about?
I don't believe it for 1 second.
The only time Rhys ever entered Tamlin's head was to get him to stop talking at the meeting. So, he knows the switches in people's mind.
That's rude of him.
Mm-hmm. That was rude. That was really fucking rude.
For real.
Like, so he knows exactly what buttons to push in someone's brain to get their functions to stop. I think that's very fucking scary.
Yeah.
He could make somebody stop breathing if he wanted them to. He could make their heart stop. He could make their breath stop. He could make their voice stop. He could make them just like Feyre. He could make them hurt themselves.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing, though. There's some weird part of him buried deep, 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 deep under the Valg that, for some reason, he wants Tamlin dead, but he doesn't want to do it himself. Because I feel like if he did it himself, then he couldn't keep up his ruse of being the good guy. And who would be the last person seen with Tamlin? Rhys. That would be very obvious, right?
That's why he needed Feyre to do it, because she had motive.
Or to get Tamlin to do it himself, which is why he went to Nakafas.
God, he's such a dick.
I know. But there was that, which I say, deep, deep, deep under the Valg, there was that tiny line where he was like, oh, as he winnowed away, something hollow took root in his chest. Oh, that would be called guilt, Rhys. I know you've never felt that emotion before in your fucking life, but that's what that's called. FYI. And isn't that crazy though? That he even can't clock the emotion of guilt. Doesn't that
Maybe.
say something?
Or what about this? What if it's been the Valg the whole time?
That's what
And
I'm
when
so fucking
wait, no,
afraid
no, no,
Sarah's gonna
wait,
do.
let me finish. Let me finish. What if it was the Valg the whole time, and when he died and was brought back, it's actually Rhys himself who's fighting against the Valg, but like instead of Rhys being on top and the Valg on the bottom, what if it's switched? Valg is on top and Rhys is in the bottom, and the Beast is actually Rhys.
Mm-hmm.
And the Valg is the one that has been speaking this entire time.
After Akawar?
No, since the beginning.
I mean,
That's the mask. The Valg is the mask.
Mm.
Reed, who he really is under the mask of the Valg.
Oh, 100%.
that would be an amazing twist, though, if that was the case.
I mean, I feel
All
like
of it would.
I feel like if given a particular Rhys scene, I could clock whether it was him or his Valg.
Really?
Like if that was a game show and it was like Rhysand or Valg Prince, like I would be able to clock that because you can tell the difference. For example, I do think that on that first Starfall, when he tells Feyre like, "Oh, smile again," I think that was Rhys.
That was Rhys, and it was
That
very
was Rhys.
sweet.
Yeah.
The
I'm wondering if his nightmare triggered more of the Valg, and then after he came back, that triggered more of the Valg. Now, the Valg was the twisting of her bone under the mountain. 100%. The Valg was, trying to get Tamlin to fight him. Rhys was the I will not be a high king.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. The Valg was the one that threatened to kill Nesta. And we even hear it in his voice. Cassian hears it in his voice. He was so angry. Where it says the hellish voice and how his heart was fracturing from the command.
Rhys was the one who it was Rhys who brought Nesta back from the nightmare and was very gentle with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like the King of Ardalan and Rhys have a lot in common.
Oh my God. Yes. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. That is Rhys.
Like in the way
like that's what I've been saying. They're both battling and he's just losing at this point.
Yeah, because he's at the surface, but I think after he was brought back, the real Rhys had been so buried underneath that that's the one who's breaking free, not the Valg. The Valg is fighting back, yes, but Rhys is underneath the Valg, not the other way around.
I don't know though, because I feel like he was nicer in Akamath and then he got more unhinged.
It does seem that.
That's why I feel like if he gave something to the cauldron, it would have been more control to the Valg instead of himself. But he does break through sometimes. Again, like the High King moment and trying to think. I guess maybe Feyre's birthday? Kind of. But that's the thing. It's like the actual actual Rhys breaks through a lot less after Akawar.
True.
But I do love how Tamlin clocked this during the High Lord meeting, where he's like, have the masks finally come off?
Masks, plural.
Mm. He has so many. He has his Hewn City mask. He has his Valg mask. He has, you know,
Well, considering that Feyre is the lady of many faces.
makes sense. This is why they're mates. Or this is at least why, when he made the bargain and changed fate, she became his equal.
Yeah. I still think he changed fate. I think she was supposed to be Tamlin's. But I don't know. At the same time,
I have a really good point to bring up now that you said that, because it was part of my notes. So on my last reread, I did a note and that I just found. And so I just put, I find it funny that Feyre says that Tamlin is fire and she burns with him. And Nesta says the same thing about Cassian.
so if Nesta isn't actually fire, or would she?
I'm thinking that manipulated bonds or fraying bonds maybe feel like searing fire, if that makes sense.
Kind of.
Because if you think of something like if you're holding onto rope and it's ripping out of your hand, it's gonna burn. So like if that's what's happening with the bonds inside them, they might take that as, oh, this bond is fire and I am consumed by this other person, but it's really something that's not good instead of good.
It's an
Because
interesting theory.
Feyre said that, and then literally the next book, they're falling apart. Nesta said that, literally in Hofas, they're falling apart.
Yeah.
It's very
Sad.
sad,
It's
but
very
I mean, with how much Feyre changed, and again, it could be from the bargain, it could be from her trauma. We really don't know. Um, because of how much she changed, I do 100% think Tamlin deserves better. And with
Oh, he does. And I
and
was
with
thinking about it earlier today.
mm,
And like Books and Candy brought it up.
Candy,
Like
I love her.
Feyre did Candy brought it up. She said, and I agree with her, Feyre does not know how to deal with kindness. And I thought about it and I'm like, I wonder if Feyre is borderline. I mean, she had an absent mother who didn't really pay attention to her.
She was
Her dad
decently
was
kind.
around, but
She was decently kind in book one, but again, this is all before she turned Fae. She changed when she turned Fae. She was
she
kind to the blue fairy.
she was kind to the blue fairy. She still battled negative
And the
self-talk.
Suriel actually too. It's so this is the thing though. Feyre is feels, you know, empathy, I guess, for creatures who are
Mm,
attacked or dying. And I think it's only because she sees herself as that kind of creature, like prey, even though she's actually the hunter. I feel like she projects herself into being perpetual prey when she's actually a hunter. And then after she's like, oh, I actually am a hunter and I can do this to other people now. And it's just weird.
or I mean, she could be compensating. Like not necessarily
That too.
projecting, but compensating. I mean, there is that possibility that she is somewhat self-aware, not of her naivety, but of I mean, she is very self-aware with her vulnerability.
Uh-huh.
She's still naive.
Mm.
But she does seem to be very aware of her vulnerability, and she hates it.
So I have a question for you then.
She's very Bella Swan.
Do you think that there's a part of Feyre that knows that Rhys is not actually mostly good? Like, do you think that she knows that, she's kind of Rhys's pawn in a way? We can argue whether he actually loves her or if, she's kind of like just I don't know, just a little conduit for his ego, but and I think Candy has a video on this too, whether Rhys actually loves Feyre or not. And she goes with a lot of scenes, and it's just really kind of weird. I would say maybe a part of him loves her, but I wouldn't say he was in love with her. I think it was more his want of her to get back at Tamlin, which again goes back to the Tamlin obsession. But in terms of Feyre, do you think that she has any sort of knowledge of this or is just totally unaware?
I think she is at least partially aware, because in Akamath, when she's talking about the book and her and Amren come out and she's just very critical of Rhysand, she's like, he didn't even ask if we were okay. He sent us out there to drown.
Mm-hmm.
She's aware at that point. She is aware. There are times where she was aware. She was just as aware of that as she was in book 1.
But again, it's all of the times she's nowhere near Rhys. She says that, and then he shows up, and then, oh, everything's fine. Everything's peachy. She doesn't yell at him. She doesn't get upset. Like, she gets a little upset, but like, you would think that it would be a conversation to be had if this person is, I know, again, she didn't know that they were mates yet, but if you're feeling a pull towards this person and they kind of in your mind betrayed you like that, you would think that would warrant a conversation.
That's another thing that Candy brought up. So Tamlin would give her space. Technically, Feyre gave him space, but the way that she treats giving someone space is different than how Tamlin gives her space. Like, he gives her space, yeah, but she doesn't check up on him. She doesn't go like, hey, are you okay? Like, how are you feeling? You feeling all right? She doesn't do
Everything's
that.
about her. But again, just like Rhys, everything's about him.
Yeah.
And that's why they are equals. It is not because of their power. It is not because of their aesthetic. It is because they are both inherently selfish people who will act selfless to keep up the facade that they are good, just leaders when they're not.
I will say this about Moore, though. She does ask Feyre if she's all right. I want to say it's Aquawar. Yeah, it's Aquawar.
The thing that I hate is that basically the shadow wraiths warn her in not so many words. And she just... They're talking about when she's asking who everybody is in the first scene, and they're like, oh, that's Rhysand's inner circle. And they're like very kind of annoyed about it. And she's like, well, I thought that, people aren't supposed to be this casual or whatever. And they were like, well, the High Lord is, and he's been protecting his city for this many years, or blah, 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 blah. And it was like a robotic speech. And then she sees how when they come back later, Rhys kind of like makes a face and like moves around them like he doesn't want to be like tainted by them or whatever. And she's like hugging them. And she's like, it wasn't for his dislike of the half-breeds, but... And then she just kind of trails off. And then they go and like take a bath and like, it's so weird. So it's like, that he treats these people that are literally employed by him horribly just for what they are. And that's not like clocking to you that maybe he's not a great person. Which, again, the inner circle, aside from Azriel, only cares about the inner circle. When
I
Moore
don't know.
recounts her and Azriel going to the Sangreava temple to try to help them or whatever, she's like, "Oh, Azriel came and told me that we had to go and da 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 da." Like, okay, so you weren't gonna go if he didn't beg you to? Like, he would have gone regardless.
I would argue that Moore does not care about the inner circle. Because if she did, they would have known about her secret
I mean,
palace
yeah.
and
I
her
think she puts on
horses.
the ruse that she cares about them. But I think they all put on the ruse that they care about the inner circle. But their actions outside the inner circle are to kind of preserve the sanctity of the inner circle. Which is
Like,
weird because none of you fucking know each other. And none of you really get along when you're your real selves.
what is the inner circle even for other than war? It sounds like the Avengers, and the Avengers don't get along. They're not family. Maybe at times, sure, but they
It's
really just piss each other off.
I really think the inner circle was just created by Rhys because he needed a mirror to show the court that, look, I can get along with people and I have a family and I'm a great guy and I'm not a loner and I'm not a weirdo and I can actually be so normal and so kind. Like, I feel like they're just kind of there to be a soundboard and the face of the night court, like the true night court, the nice night court. But they're really just there to be Rhys's pets, pretty much.
I can see it in Hewn City.
Mm. Because, like, even with his dad, it was just, oh, my father, my mother, me, and my sister. And Cassian and Azriel because my mom chose to take them in. So then he kept the brothers. He brought in more because he played with her as a child. And then we don't know if he went to Amryn or Amryn went to him, but she knew his family line for hundreds of years before he was born. And he doesn't
I
ask
thought
any
he
questions, which
I
is
thought
odd.
he I thought he freed her.
No. No. He's like, "Oh, she knew my family for centuries, so when I finally became High Lord, I asked her to be my second."
After he asked her if he could fuck her, and she laughed in his
As a
face.
kid, but again, as a kid, so his
He
family
was
knew
not a
her.
kid. He was
Well,
like 25.
he says younger, so I'm assuming like older teens, like 18, 19 into his 20s. He said
No,
he was very young.
he was in his frat boy era. Oh, okay. He was like 23, 25.
But still, not when he was High Lord. So his dad knew Amryn too.
Oh, I would have loved it if Tamlin is like right there by his side when he was asking Amryn if like they could smash.
Hey, you know my fam. Let's smash. And she's
And
like, "Boy,
Tamlin just
the
has
fuck
like
you do?"
and like Tamlin has like this little piece of like body poetry written down about Rhys and Amryn, and he just writes fan fiction.
Meanwhile, Lucian's being told this bitch is gonna swallow you whole if you act up, boy. She's gonna come in the middle of the night, drain your blood, and rip you to pieces if you don't
Yeah,
do what your father
that's
says.
that's
Like,
the other thing. Like Amryn was like an urban legend in the
she was
Autumn Court.
known in the courts long before Rhys was High Lord. Yeah.
I don't know about the other courts, but in the Night Court and in the Autumn Court, yes.
Hmm.
It's not revealed in the other courts. It's just Autumn and Night so far.
Assumedly.
No, like in the books, like so far from what
Yeah.
we've seen, it's
Well, yeah, but
only
I'm just saying, like,
autumn and night.
if she was around, we don't know where she was living, if she was just traveling like we have no idea. Yeah,
No.
she knew Rhys's family, but where was she living when she was freed from the prison if she wasn't living, in the house with them?
I mean, we don't know if she was living in the day court after she got out of prison.
Could have been
If she
living
knew
anywhere.
Helian's family, if she knew Lady Autumn, if she knew Nuon, we don't know.
She had to have known before she went in the prison. She had to have known the people that would have been sent to Zion or somebody connected to Zion because that's the last person that she remembered and, forged her body after. Because the courts weren't the courts yet. So my question is, was the continent the continent? Or was the island so overpopulated that they moved half the people to the continent?
We also don't know if the geography had changed. Like, are there any volcanoes? Was there like a Prithian Pangea and then it changed?
I think this is a little too deep for Sarah.
I don't know. I mean, she demodied like half the family.
Yeah. But in terms of timelines and geography, I don't know if she. I mean, she did a pretty good job of it in Tog, I will not lie. But I don't know why she is like completely ignoring Prithian's geography. And what is the continent's name? The island is Prithian. You can't just call the continent the continent. Because technically an island can also be a continent. Like Australia.
Technically it's two continents. It's the Western continent and then there's the Eastern continent.
Yeah.
Prithian is the Western continent.
Yeah.
The continent, whatever, is the Eastern continent.
Yeah.
And then Highburn is the most.
But are they really islands or are they like peninsulas? Because it's connected to the human lands, which is just a large, more massive land, right?
I
don't know how far that goes, so it's really just like sticking out.
It's large enough to be considered a continent. That is a whole ass tectonic plate.
Right.
That is a continent.
Like, what? I don't know. If she does not delve into Rhys's villain era, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. Because what was it all for?
I mean, I don't think she's not gonna do it.
Even delving into Tog in Crescent City. What was that all for if we're not getting a Maeve Aelin type shit situation between Rhys and Tamlin? When we know that Tamlin is a motherfucking Tog Fae from Aelin's line. We know this. He had the ruby. He had the ring. He has the powers. He has the eyes. He fucking has the hair. Like, everything about him screams Aelin's line. Aelin and Rowan, child. Adian and Lysandra, child. Grandchildren. Grandchildren. Somebody fucking mated between those two lines, the cousin lines, to create Tamlin's line. Or he wouldn't have raw shifting like Lysandra. The fiddle skills of Adian. And the personality of Adian. Which is why people don't like Adian. Which is why they don't like Tamlin. They have the same personality. Yep. The wind. The fire in his eyes when he's angry. The claws. The canines. Fucking everything. So he has everything of Aelin's. Rhys has everything of Maeve's. We're not supposed to put two and two together. We're not. You have to be kidding.
I don't think she's ever denied or confirmed that, though. I mean, we still don't know what this book is about. We, I mean,
Considering that she didn't like super confirm that Lydia was from Aelin either when we know that she was from Aelin. Like, she's beating around the bush for some grand, huge intergalactic reveal when it's like we all already know, or we should already know, because the people who analyze already fucking know. And the people who are just pissy that Tog is the past are gonna deny it all they want. But that's not to say that we won't see the Tog people. Again, there is time travel, and there's the harp, and there is fucking portals. Like, just because they're dead on the current timeline does not mean we can't time jump. Like, you know?
yeah.
But the fact that people are outwardly denying that Lydia and Tamlin are, like, from Aelin is fucking beyond me. Because what are you even denying at this point? Like,
It will be revealed when it gets revealed. That's kind of my attitude towards it, because I mean, we could
I
have
actually got really
to our
mad.
heart's content.
I actually
But,
got mad when she had, Lydia say, "Oh, I'm from Brannon's line." Yes, I do get that he is the original ancestor, and even Aelin is like, "Oh, I'm from Brannon's line." I get that, but not bringing up Aelin's name ticked me off. Because now you have these fucking people that are like, she's not from Aelin, she's from like another branch of Brandon's line. Yeah, another fucking branch of Brandon's line doesn't have Aelin's fire, which was confirmed in Tog, that he only ever gave it to Aelin and nobody else of his line. She was the only one, which is why she was the promised one and the chosen one and all these other titles, because she was special, because she had the fire. So she's not from some rando line that we never knew, that was never named, or it wouldn't have been a reveal. Like, it's just common sense is not very common anymore, and it bothers me. Just like the ring thing. That wasn't Rowan's ring because the ring in Tog was more inlaid, and the ring in whatever was not inlaid. It was just on the. Yeah, she is not looking that deep into how she wrote the ring. She's just giving us ruby ring, heirloom piece from her father's house, who was very powerful. Rowan's fucking ring. Come on. I mean, really. It's not rocket science. It's analytical, but it's not rocket science. It's just like, come on, people. Come on, people. We know the rings are important. Rhys's mom's ring is important. Aelin's ring that Tamlin had is important. The ruby ring was important because it was Rowan's. That's why she passes it down to her sons, because it was an heirloom piece. All the rings. All the rings. The rings from the fucking astronomer had the sprites in it. So, like, all the rings are important. Which is why I find it really weird that Nesta and Cassian didn't have any rings. But I digress. you know? I don't know if Olivia can hear us, but I had something I wanted to bring up and ask her opinion on. Which kind of sort of is branched off of this a little bit.
About the rings, or if the mating ceremony actually happened?
No, about it could be off the rings, sort of. It's a little bit connected.
We were talking about Feyre's flat ass.
I open Instagram and I get a full naked ass Feyre.
How did I miss that? I didn't even see that.
That wasn't even half full. That was like a drop.
It was Faizan, Nessian, and Elriel. Literally, three
Oh.
worst. The three worst ships you could have chosen.
Damn, that
But I
sounds like the
digress.
Three Horsemen.
Yeah.
We might have the apocalypse, Akatar style.
So where did you end like where did you last
Oh,
don't even know.
I don't even know. Yeah. Yeah.
Tell her
Don't
about
even know.
Goldrun. Tell her about Goldrun.
Yeah, anyways, we were
The
saying
West Wing.
that people are ridiculous for not putting two and two together that like Lydia and Tamlin are from Aelin because they're in fucking
yeah.
because they're in fucking denial for some godforsaken reason as if fucking time travel isn't a thing. It's obnoxious.
It's so obvious though.
It's obnoxious, right? So anyways, based off of that, I screenshotted my crazy like fucking 3 a.m. texts from last night that I sent you guys because I was working. And I was literally thinking about the Beauty and the Beast thing and how people are like, oh, well, Feyre is the enchantress and he's the beast now or whatever, because I was thinking about Brylan like all day yesterday. And I put, guys, I literally texted them this at like 3 a.m. in all caps, all of it, right?
I was dead to the world.
Me too.
I put, holy shit! I was just thinking, in Beauty and the Beast's west wing is off limits because of the rose, right? In Akatar, Tamlin has a whole wing that's sealed off, but Feyre never bothers to check it, which means we are right, and the true Beauty and the Beast story hasn't been told yet, and Briar is his belle. Also,
But wait a minute.
Feyre couldn't read, so duh, obviously she wasn't fucking Belle.
But wait a minute. Wait a minute. So, two things. One, the definition of Feyre's name is beauty, which is the same definition as Belle. That's one thing.
Technically, it means fair, doesn't it? Not beauty.
No, it means beauty.
Hold on.
The other
Look
thing.
this up.
The other thing is, oh fuck, I lost it. Come on, get back in my head.
Fair, light-haired, or beautiful. So not technically.
You both are right.
Beauty.
Semantics.
Yeah. Semantics.
The rose, the wooden rose that Papa Archeron carved for Elaine. Could that be the rose? Could it be closed off because it was stolen? Not carved, but stolen. Because Mr. Prince of the Merchants
could have been traded.
Or traded. Or he made a twin.
But unfortunately, Nesta does say he carved it for Elaine while in the cottage.
Okay, so he carved it for Elaine. Could he have carved a twin and traded it?
Perhaps.
Maybe.
And that's what's in the West Wing.
Which leads to my next text.
Is it out of rosewood?
Could be. I put, obviously, what was supposed to be the rose from Beauty and the Beast was actually Tamlin's mother's roses from the dad, because he tells Feyre that they are spelled never to die. His mom's rose bushes are supposed to be the rose.
Are those the same ones from Orid? Because there's roses in Orid.
What makes you say that about the mom's rose bushes, Mel?
Because the rose and Beauty of the Beast was in the thing because it was like an undying rose, right? And you weren't supposed to touch it. And that's the same with Tamlin's mom's rose garden. The father gifted it to her because they were undying and they were special.
Yeah.
And
Tamlin was
Feyre
like,
one off.
I know. But it's like, but he like let her, and then he was like, oh, the thorns, and then he heals her hand and he kisses it. But yeah, that was technically supposed to be like the rose in Beauty and the Beast. But my question was, if the rose bushes were supposed to be the Beauty and the Beast rose, what do we actually think is in Tamlin's closed off West Wing that even Feyre hasn't seen? Could it be like Goldrun or something?
Mm-hmm.
But what else do we think could be dire enough to close off
A coffin.
sarcophagus.
Yes.
Thea's no. Because it was like after his parents died and then he became High Lord and then he blocked it off supposedly because it was like his parents' murder scene bedrooms.
What?
But I feel like there's more to that because why wouldn't he just magic all of the grossness away? I feel like he's hiding something. And also his bedroom. He never let Feyre in his actual bedroom.
I thought he did in Akamash.
They slept in separate rooms, didn't
They
they?
slept in separate rooms. He went to her room.
Yeah.
And she's like, I've never been to his bedroom. Maybe it's a, fairy wedding tradition or something. And they never got married, so she never went in his room. But
I thought about that the other day.
But Alice found Lauren's clothes in his room.
I was gonna say, now I need to know what
It's a Lauren shrine in that
That's
bitch.
what I was gonna say. I'm like, does the West Wing hold like a portal or something? Or no?
Why wouldn't the mural have been in the closed off wing? And is Tamlin's room in the closed off ring or is it separate?
I think it's separate.
So his room is off limits and the whole wing is the murder wing is off limits.
That was my impression, yeah.
What if Rhys's mother is in the closed off wing in like a comatose state, like Sleeping Beauty?
That could be cool.
Because remember how our question was like, all right, well, if Lauren is the sister, where the fuck is the mother?
No. But it'd be weird, like, it would be weird if he was housing her like all these years and like Rhys never sensed her or like figured it out, or you know what I mean? And it would make Tamlin look even worse.
Not necessarily.
False hope.
Wait. That could be why Rhys is so obsessed and keeps visiting Tamlin, because he feels that tug of his mom.
Well, I like that when you say it like that.
Right? Who is he housing there? Who is in the West Wing? Because, like, they would have had to have been comatose through this.
And why does Ianthe not poke around in there?
Everyone's just like, oh, it's blocked off. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also, Snow White was also in a glass coffin under a spell.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was.
Snow White had black hair and blue eyes and could talk to animals. So if his mom was a witch by being an Illyrian female, and the witches were bred in Orid, maybe on top of necromancy, she had a penchant for speaking to animals. I don't know. Maybe she came across Tamlin in beast form. I don't know.
But Feyre also has a way of talking to critters. I mean, technically, she wasn't supposed to talk to the cereal because the cereal is supposed to be really fucking dangerous. And then she ended up befriending it, and it became her little gossip column.
I'm just like, how would Tamlin have got Lauren through the portal, but how would he have saved the mother? Like,
unless he couldn't.
Or maybe
unless she really is dead.
Or maybe the father thought she was dead or whatever, and she wasn't dead, and he, I don't know, went back for her later, and I don't fucking know. Because his father didn't die till, like, the next night, right? What else could
Next
be
week.
there? Yeah.
Next week, I think. It was like a week or two later.
Although, which I bring up all the time, it seems like Rhys and Tamlin talked after his mother and sister were murdered because he told Tamlin that, my father's gonna come look for revenge and we won't kill your mother. Because he's like, oh, I told him that we wouldn't touch his mother, I promised. And my father killed her anyway. So, like, if you thought none of this makes sense, dude. Your stories don't add up. Because why would you talk to the guy that you believed went with his father to kill your family and you're going to promise him that you won't kill his? Like, because if Tamlin was slotted to be High Lord, which we know, and which Rhys would have known by that point, I would think he would sense it, even though he's like, we were both crowned High Lord after the fact. I feel like he could have felt it because, like, Tamlin knew he was going to be High Lord. He had all the signs and everything. And he obviously knew that Tamlin's father wouldn't help his mother. Tamlin now would have, as we were saying, the gift of rebirth, which is how he brought Rhys back. So maybe Rhys thought that Tamlin could somehow revive his mom. Maybe Tamlin's been trying the whole time. And then because of Amarantha, who took away that power, he couldn't try for over 50 years. She's still been in a coma. I don't know. It's weird on whether Rhys knows or not, because if he knows, then why would he treat Tamlin so badly? But if he doesn't,
he's like, where the fuck is my mom? Or like, what are you doing?
Yeah. But he was like, oh, we could reduce this whole house to black dust. Like, okay, but like, if your mom's in there, it's so weird.
I feel like what we're gonna find out is that they saved his sister, and the mom is like straight up dead. Like,
I think
I get
so.
that impression too.
But then what the fuck is in the West Wing?
I think it's gonna be like, we don't even know. Like, Sarah's gonna pull some crazy storyline out of nowhere. If she even addresses it at all, I don't know.
Guess what? Tamlin had a little sister that's been in a coma since childhood.
Aww. Aww.
She would. Right?
No.
Yeah.
Tamlin was the youngest of 3 brothers.
Yes. But then he went to a war band and all this other shit.
I mean, you do have Lydia hanging out there, so could Lydia and Tamlin be brother and sister? I don't know. I don't either.
I still think that Flynn's mom is his aunt. Or
I could see it.
Yeah. I mean, how old are they? Are they in their 200s or 500? If they're in their 200s, then she would be his younger sister.
Yeah.
Or niece.
Yeah.
Or niece.
Because we don't know if his brothers ever married or...
Well, they raped slaves, but... fucking rapists. But other than that...
I don't get the sense that Flynn's mom is a bastard, though.
Yeah, me neither. She was super bitchy. She was like an awful person.
Like, she's too snobbish to be a bastard.
Yeah. Yeah. She very much reminds me of, like, Baron.
She's probably that old Faye, and they're very prejudiced.
But I mean, her husband is like that, so maybe it's an act where she has to act like that to kind of, like, survive him, sort of, in a way that Ember and Lauren kind of escaped. I don't know.
Maybe.
Because we do know that very much like Moore's parents, like Keir and the mother, like, she lets, Lord Hawthorne basically run everything and have the final say, and it's patriarchy.
Yeah.
Where
It's that
he
old
literally
thing.
gave Sathya to Morven to marry off to a murder twin, and she said nothing.
Yeah.
So, like, we don't know how fucked up she could have been in the head. You know?
True.
And I had another thought the other day in regards to Rune being Tamlin's son. And I was saying how, you know, when Rune took the antidote, that he had all the healing magic. We've been over that, how it's Tamlin's healing magic, how he could fully restore people and stuff like that, right? But then I was thinking, everybody is so convinced that Rune's mind-speaking magic is a watered-down version of Rhys's Daemati magic, right? But mind-speaking is also mind-reading at the same time. And Tamlin has mind-read Feyre.
Mm-hmm.
When?
Twice. So it could be Tamlin's power and not a watered down version of Daemati. It could just be a mind reading power. So I think we went over the first one at least, but the Starlight Pool scene when Feyre is falling asleep and she thinks like he's exactly what I imagined him to be. And then out loud he says, "You're exactly how I'd imagine you'd be too."
Yeah, that's right.
When she was human. So she couldn't have Daemati'd him because she was human at the time. And then the second time is in Akamath when they have their fight right before like he explodes with the panic attack and she's thinking, you know, and he's like, "Oh, just give me time," or whatever. And she's thinking like, then find someone else that can deal with this in her head. And outwardly, he literally asks her, he's like, "So you don't want to marry me?" So that's mind reading, which is what Rune can do. And he speaks back. So do you think that this is why Lauren was so shocked? Do you think that maybe Lauren didn't know whether he was Tamlin or Einar's?
No,
Yeah.
I think really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think she used Einar as a cover.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But when Rune mind spoke, like I could just see Tamlin like if she's Daemati from the Night Court and he's a mind reader, mind speaker, they were 100% using that while like making out and shit. So when she heard Rune fucking mind speaking, she was probably like, "Holy shit."
I just can't get over the fact that Feyre almost became Rune's stepmom. That just blows my fucking mind.
That's why she didn't.
My 19-year-old stepmom.
Almost, but not quite. But Briar will be.
Briar would be like,
I mean, I'm kind of hoping that Briar is more like Nesta's age instead of like Feyre's age.
I thought she was like 23. I thought she was like closer to Elaine's age.
We don't know. It just says young woman. And obviously she was like thin and tormented from Highburn, so we really don't know. It says young woman twice, and then Feyre calls her girl. Oh, the girl's name was Briar. Oh, the girl said her name was Briar. I was like, Feyre, you're a girl. What are you talking about? How is anybody a girl to you? Like, everybody's older than you.
I'm not a girl, I'm a queen. Meh. Meh. I'm not a girl, not anymore. Not yet a queen.
Yeah.
Not a girl.
I'm a queen in my own right. The fuck you are, bitch. You didn't get trained. Vasa got trained. Shut the fuck up. Like, come on. Yeah. So, do you think that's Tamlin's power and not Rhys's power?
That would be funny.
Candy actually does a thing on this too. I haven't watched the whole video. She did mention those two, but I think there's some more examples maybe. Where she's like, Tamlin has Daemati power. I don't think it's full Daemati power. I think it's just mind reading.
Yeah. I'm
Well, maybe
excited for
that's
her to
why
have a
there's
YouTube channel.
Mm.
no. Maybe that's why, like, Henry was like, we haven't seen all of Tamlin's
I know.
powers yet. Remember that? And
Yeah.
everyone, like, even Sarah herself said that, like, we haven't seen all of Tamlin's powers yet. So Tamlin is the Daemati as well? Like, that
Well,
would be incredible.
Well, her first interview in 2015, I can't get out of my head, where she's like, "Oh, everybody thinks like his shapeshifting is so amazing and so good, and maybe we'll figure out what it really is one day." What? What do you mean it's not a good thing?
Wait. Well, hold on. His shape-shifting is not actually shape-shifting? What?
Well, she was saying that how everybody thinks it's like a good thing. And she didn't say it wasn't, but she's like, well, maybe one day you'll find out what like it actually is. I was like, what? Huh?
What?
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
So confused.
Yeah. I know.
What it actually is?
Yeah.
Unless she's referencing, like, Tog and Aelin.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean?
Like Lysandra. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Briar. I don't
Yeah,
know.
everyone thinks it's so good and so amazing, but maybe you'll find out one day. Like, I was like, This is also the same interview where she said maybe in the middle of the night she would have an epiphany about a story for the Archer on Mom, but at the moment she just thought that the father was more interesting.
What if the mom's not actually dead and she's
100%.
like been turned into Fae and she's just around somewhere and we don't know where?
The
and she's
Crescent
still
City world.
Um,
She became Flynn's mom. Flynn's Feyre's brother.
I don't
okay,
see
wait.
it.
So hear me out.
Well,
Hear me out.
Lady
What if
Hawthorne
it's-
loves party planning. Just saying. She loves going to parties. Archer on Mama loved going to parties. And she was pretty cold and imperious, which is exactly like Flynn's mom, too.
Mm.
And they had to have gotten their golden brown hair from somewhere because if Puppet A had brown hair, then the mom had to have blonde hair. It's just how it works. So it kind of
What
makes
if
sense.
Tamlin's shapeshifting, you guys, is like a curse that was placed on him when he was like a kid or something?
Highburn, I'm telling you, Highburn experiments.
Maybe. I know. It
That's
all
too
circles
baby.
back.
That would explain why
That's too
Amarantha
baby.
celebrated it,
Yeah.
because it meant that the experiment worked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then what is his actual
And why
power?
his father's people didn't want him to be High Lord because they didn't want to serve a wild beast. But that's why
he's still
Amarantha
cursed.
Yeah, but that's why Amarantha wanted to celebrate it too with the masks. Let's
So he's
celebrate his
still-
shape-shifting power. That was such a personal dig. And I think that only Tamlin truly knew obviously only Tamlin truly knew the meaning behind it.
So he's still cursed.
Yeah. Beauty and the Beast.
Mhm.
Also, I'm gonna be a little bit sad if they remove that power, though. Is that
But
just
he
me?
has
I know
so
that
much-
it kind of torments him, but like,
But he has so much other he has
I know.
other powers. He has the mind.
He would still
speak.
have his beast form for like battles and stuff, like as a High Lord, but I don't know, I like the claw.
He has his white lightning power. He has his wind power. He has the mind speaking power.
He has the rebirth power.
Yeah, he has the rebirth power. Those
He
are
has
his powers.
access to the little space closet.
Oh yes, the space broom closet.
Space closet. He has the earthy telekinesis,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess that kind of counts as the wind power, but it didn't say wind. It just said he waved his hand, so who knows? He he made like the middle of his dining table disappear and turn into a smaller table. Whatever the fuck power that is. I don't Manifestation like
Transmutation.
Rhys, I guess, because Rhys turns the thing into the meat, the deer into meat.
Transmutation.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably just like a High Lord power. It can just
Could be.
twiddle their fingers and just make stuff change to what they want. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would kind of be sad if he lost his beast. I mean, maybe she could just fix it so that it's not as overwhelming. I like his little claws. I think it would have been cooler if his claws and antlers came out because I'm so into the antler art of him. I think it's so cute. Um, I think it would be really cute if his antlers like came out with Briar. Like if it was like a really like excited heart fluttery type thing where it was like how cute is that? I always call them like his little handlebars.
They're adorable. He would be wonderful with some antlers. Let's be real.
Briar needs those handlebars real bad.
Sure she does.
Or she I can't
Oh
wait
my
though.
gosh.
I want his POV. I want a Tamlin book.
I know. I want a Tamlin book so bad, more than anything.
So fucking bad.
So bad.
Hello, we are back. We were chatting about Illusion Week, but I forgot to click record. So anyways, yeah, read my fix if you want. The link is on the podcast Instagram link tree. So go look at my fix there. I have an Illusion Week series as well as the other weeks. But anyways, Eka had a headcanon for them.
I do. So we know how Faye Sand's child is named Nyx. I would love to see Illusion's child named Lux.
Yes! I named one of their twins Lux.
I love that name.
Lux and Ayla, because they both mean daylight. Those were the twins. That's what I named the twins. Yeah, it's Lucia, which means light, and then Lux and Ayla, and then they were gonna have a son, who I named Elio, which is kind of like the middle of Helion.
Mm-hmm.
And they call him Leo or Eli, depending on.
I'll tell you later.
It's really cute. But yeah. And also my headcanon for their first daughter is that she has heterochromia. So she has two different colored eyes like Lucian.
I love that. Say hi.
Hi.
All right, she's being shy.
But yeah, I keep going back and forth. I don't know whose book is next. I want both. I want both of them.
I want Illusion. I want that so badly in my life.
Well,
I flip-flop. Like I'm on Illusion Week this week because of the Illusion Week vibes, but then like last week I was on the Gwynreel thing just because it's like, they're so cute. They're both so cute. Me and Kathy, one of my beta readers for my book, she is doing her ACOTAR reread, and she's like, I'm gonna take all of your theories and stuff in mind when I do my reread. And so she's like, are these people dumb? The clues are right in your face. She goes, I don't even do shipping, and I know that she's ending up with Lucian. Like, this is right in your face. Who is shipping her with Azriel? This makes no sense. And I was like, yeah, I know. It's crazy. She's like, What is Azriel gonna wear, like a fedora and a dark cloak and look like Batman in the sun while Elaine's like sunbathing because he hates the sun and his shadows hate the sun? She's like, this makes no sense.
Oh man.
I thought it was so funny. She went on a whole rant about how these people wouldn't know a clue if it smacked them in the face.
It already has slapped them in the face and they still don't.
They're
Yeah.
like, boop, in the bin. Someone, it was one of the AI artists. I forget who it was, but somebody did a art of Elaine like holding her book, and it was purple, and it was like a court of shadows, and then something. And I was like, Elaine is not shadows. Why are we pretending that she is darkness? She literally hates darkness. It literally says darkness is abhorrent to her. She had all the curtains thrown back for the sun. Why is this a thing? Why? I just don't understand. And the book was purple, like dark purple, not even light purple. Like,
That's so weird.
huh?
I don't
A
get
lot
it.
of people are saying it's gonna be dark purple. That's like what they're guessing the color is gonna be.
No, like amethyst, like lilac.
Yeah. If it's not golden yellow, which I still 100% think the Illusion book is going to be golden yellow, but if
Me
it's not
too.
yellow, it's going to be like a light purple or a light green.
No, I think it's going to be a light purple with gold lettering similar to Sarah's ring.
Yeah. I was talking about the ring the other day, and someone's like, she's worn that ring for years. It doesn't mean anything. And I was like, let us live, bitch. Shut up. Let us live.
I refuse to like dissect her pictures anymore after the great incident with the orange tree, the citrus tree. I
Oh
refuse to
my
do it.
God. I swear they still did that on purpose because it was for the
I
first
know.
draft.
I know.
Freaking, we need the first draft. I don't care if it's like $2,000. I want the first draft.
I hope
Give it
that's
to
the
me.
I know. And the graphic audio is really good too. Now we need Eka to do her voice acting so she can be our new Bryce and or Gwen.
My voice is so shit right now. Like, I tried to see if my voice has changed at all whenever I do my voice acting, and it has. So it's like, oh shit, well, I can't do that anymore. But I can still do art, so.
You are such a good artist. Eka should draw some art for the podcast because she's so good at it.
Oh.
You should draw art for Illusion Week too.
Yes.
Draw them. Draw sexy Illusion. Draw them.
Draw Cormac and Nesta. We need
Yes, please.
some Corsta art on.
Oh my
Did you
God.
see the video I sent you, the screen record that I sent you of the girl I was talking to yesterday? She literally just commented and she was like, oh my God, I ship Cormac with Nesta too.
I
And
love
she's
it.
like, I saw your thing so long ago. And I was like, everything is falling into place. It makes sense now. We went on and on. It was so fun. She has like all the same theories as me. She's like, oh yeah, Tamlin and Lauren and like all this stuff. It was so fun. It was so fun. But yeah, I gotta I hate my voice. I'm obnoxious. I hate listening to my voice at work too when we have to do playbacks of calls. I'm like, oh. But you think I would be used to it by now. But I got like a voice acting comment on TikTok a few weeks ago. And I was like, I don't think anybody would ever be interested in hearing my voice unless it's about theories.
You should do it.
Like there's not any possible character that I could voice act unless they were obnoxious. Like there just isn't.
You might be able to do Gwen.
I was gonna say.
I could probably do Gwen.
Yeah.
I do like how they got like a mezzo soprano person. I'm so sad that she wouldn't get interviewed.
What was her name again?
Ore.
I'm gonna find her on Instagram.
Aure. Nash.
Aure. Okay, I'm gonna have to find her.
And Amaran's is like hardly ever online. That's Nora. And then Azriel's voice actor is actually in like cop shows. He's like an actual actor. So he was probably just busy, but I was really sad that he couldn't do it either. Everyone says they hate Azriel's voice, but I love Azriel's voice.
I like Azriel's voice.
They're like, it's supposed to be dark and mysterious and cold. And I'm like, yeah, when he's working, when he's around the inner circle, it's gonna be more relaxed and like calm and like very, kind of soothing. Like, and that's how it is. It's so soothing. I love his voice.
I know.
Why aren't you training Nesta?
I love his voice too. I have no problem with it.
Okay, I have to ask this question. Does Azriel remind you of Jasper?
God.
From
No.
Twilight?
No. No.
What?
Does he remind you of Jasper?
I mean, Jasper was very
see
creepy
it.
for a long time.
I see it.
Like certain aspects, maybe. But I feel like Jasper only had to stay away because of the blood thing. Like, I feel like if he wasn't super in bloodlust, he would have been a lot more open.
But
And then, like, he was just, like, in the corner staring at people weirdly. I was like, dude, bro, blink every 2 minutes. Can you blink every couple seconds? He's just like, I was like, bro, blink. I know that you don't have to as a vampire, but you would look more normal. He's just like staring. Right?
It's funny that you say that though, because like literally Cassian is Emmett, and I could see how you would say that Azriel is Jasper.
Yeah. I love that you said that because Cassian is Emmett and Moore is Rosalie.
Yes. I like
Everyone's like, Nesta's Rosalie. I was like, Nesta's not Rosalie.
She
Moore
is
is
not
Rosalie.
Yeah.
100%. Down to the whole I wanted to have a child thing.
Never mind.
And her being super protective over Renesmee. That is going to be more with Nyx. We're going to see more around Nyx so much. Wait. And she's going to be like, not knowing that she lost her son.
And the whole the whole, did you get food in my hair?
I need this kid to be a menace to the inner circle.
Yes.
I do. I posted the Nyx Nox Owen theory on my Instagram today. We'll see what people say.
I love it. I think it's a really fun theory. Even if it's not true, I think it's fun.
Yeah. Like, okay. His name means Lord of Night. Like, his championship skill was archery. He has the blue-gray eyes and the black hair. Like, what? It's too weird. And now we have time jumping and world walking and wibbly wobbly timey wimey shit. and I added on to it. I'll have to read what I wrote, but I added on to it because I thought of something else with it. So I said, what if Rhys thought that slowing Aelin got her back, but maybe she needed more help? So then when Nyx grows up, he time jumps back, because you can always change the past to alter the present, technically. And what if he believes that if she defeats Maeve, maybe it will change the present and Rhys will no longer be Valg? I also said, if he got his shape-shifting power from Feyre and Tamlin, he could shift his wings away and shift into a human. I also find it strange how he somehow had immunity when losing the championship when everybody else had to get killed off. And then he gave some vague ass story about, oh, I'm an orphan and I was a thief to make ends meet. Bitch, you are in fancy clothes. What are you talking about? And he found some random sponsor that gave him immunity. Really? It's suspicious. Very, very suspicious. Right? But anyways, I voice recorded a theory on the chat group the other day. Basically, it was about the Wordstone Hearts. And it had to do with Rhys. And it was about how, like, what if at some point under the mountain, Amarantha, or even Amarantha forcing Rhys, like, what if they gave Feyre a Wordstone heart? Like, what if the High Lord's hearts of stone were Wordstone hearts? She turned them into Wordstone hearts with the spell. And then she turned Feyre's, but because Feyre's wasn't bound to the curse, hers stayed Wordstone. And because it was bound to Rhys, that's why she stayed bound to Rhys.
I love that. Go ahead, Eka.
Wait, Amarantha was already dead before Feyre came back.
No, came back, yeah. But I meant beforehand. I don't think turning into a Fae would dissolve the spell because it wasn't part of the curse.
Oh, maybe.
And then like the
I
whole
would
bargain
say-
thing, it's so weird because then Rhys is like, be glad of your human heart, pity those who don't feel anything at all. So he knows about Wordstone hearts? Pity those who feel nothing at all? Like puppets? Like exactly what you're doing to her?
Well, I think him saying that shows that that it is not a Wordstone heart, right? Because it's a human heart. She still has a human heart.
But he says a lot of shit that is very suspicious. He says a lot of things that makes Feyre believe things that aren't true.
Yeah, but I don't think that would be one of them, right? Because like he makes it a point. Your human heart, your human heart. He brings it up all the time.
Exactly, it's weird. Why do you bring it up all the time? And Feyre didn't have her human heart after, because then look what she did to Spring. And Nesta was the one who wanted to save the humans in the war, not Feyre. I mean, Feyre agreed with her. And she was like, yeah, we should probably send some units. But like, it was Nesta. And then Feyre's making fun of Lucian for being friends with humans. Like,
Yeah,
it's
if
really
anything, she sounds heartless.
yeah, exactly. It's so strange. It's so strange. So I was like, what if he isn't demarying her, but what if he is controlling her through the Wordstone heart instead? Maybe. It's not as strong of a theory, but I think it would be interesting.
I could see Tamlin having a Wordstone heart.
I mean, it would have been during
Well-
the curse, and he fell in love with her, so I don't know. Again, all of them could have had Wordstone hearts at that time, but we don't really know. Because she did turn all their hearts to stone. And everyone forgets that. I always point that out. Everyone forgets that. They're like, no, it was Tamlin's, and Tamlin still has a stone heart. I'm like, no. With the High Lords, that went away when she solved the curse.
Yeah.
I mean, not when she solved the curse. When she solved the curse, it went away for Tamlin. When Tamlin killed Amarantha, that's when all of the rest of the people were uncursed. But it was just like, I don't know.
Did that also
Feyre's
go
heart
for the
just
heirs?
gets.
Did that also go for the heirs or just the High Lords?
I think just the High Lords, as far as we know.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Just the fact that her heart gets brought up all the time, it's really kind of weird. Because she's literally heartless after Under the Mountain. Like, literally. There's like some aspects of things where, again, outside of Rhys, she has clarity.
Yeah.
all the time. Every time she is not with Rhys, she is her old self.
Mm-hmm.
When she laid down with her sisters in Akawar and woke up and she was like, the first thought that she thought of was Tamlin. Really? The first thing you thought of was Tamlin? I would be dead if he didn't save us. And he's the Nefel philosophy. Your greatest weakness can become your greatest strength. Mm.
She's
Like,
too weak for him.
She was like, it was Tamlin. And like, then when she's with Rhys, she's like, you piece of shit traitor. Like, what? What? And then when she's not with Rhys later, he hadn't gone back to Highburn to be a traitor, but to spy. No shit. That's Jurian stirring the pot. Like, it's every time. And then again, when he's saving her, and she's like, "Will he make it to the rift, to the wards?"
Is Jurian Damati?
Jurian is something. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
we
he
don't
is.
know yet.
He's something.
He's made, that's for sure.
He's made. He grew his little body.
I like that. That was like
Like we said earlier.
yeah. No, but I still am like convinced that you
I
guys
see
remember
him
that
like
quiz.
Deadpool.
That's what I was gonna say. The little
Yeah.
Deadpool limbs.
Yeah, exactly.
Throwing them back.
Yeah, the quiz where he can see magic and riches.
Yeah, he could see people's gifts and their magic, and yeah,
He knew that
Yeah.
was Feyre immediately. Clocked
Yeah.
her immediately when
Yeah.
she was supposed to be Ianthe.
yeah.
And then
was
he
the
knew-
only one.
And he knew that Azriel was in the room when Azriel was just a shadow. He looks in the corner and he's like, "You got her, Shadow Singer?" Like,
Mhm.
what?
But here's the thing: is how is he going to use that in future books? I see that being very problematic.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to manipulate and use
Unless if Sarah wants to make him really an ally to like the Fae and or Prithian or whatever, she could have him use it as like, oh, this is what Baron is getting from Koshi and this is what they're doing. Like she could spin it that way. I feel like while he is very suspicious and I would love a twist where he kind of tries to use the spell book against them, I feel like she can only do so many people as like temporary villains. And I feel like Rhys is just the better option at this point. I think Rhys would be way more interesting and the better option as the villain when his belt comes out. Like I want that so bad.
I'm trying to like figure out if I truly think she's gonna make Rhys the villain. I don't know. I'm really torn.
Again, I don't think it's gonna be by choice.
You do? You think so too, Eka?
I
For
totally
real?
think she's gonna make him go dark though. We saw it in Hofas and Akis.
I know, but some people are convinced that that's just him like protecting his family, holding on to it. You know, it's his greatest fear and not necessarily him being a villain.
He did that in Akamath and Akawar, and his eyes didn't have to turn into black pits and he didn't have to slam doors and explode magic. I said it in a reel, but his rage, just like Az, is like, oh, we can match each other's cold rage. His rage was cold and icy, and he wears a mask of indifference when he's pissed. Like when he hurt Kier, he had no expression on his face.
Yeah,
and
that
he
was
was just
shit.
hurting him. He didn't have to rage. And Feyre even says, which I love this line because it proves this theory wrong that people say. She says, like, he didn't even have to, like, fly into a rage. The cool indifference was on his face. And she's like, I didn't know if that was scarier or not. Like, because he just did not care. He was just like, cracking that bone, cracking this bone, cracking that bone. No expression. Didn't even have to rage at him. Which is such a contrast to Hofas.
True.
Like, he doesn't have to fly off the handle like that because he is that dangerous.
So what did he lose in the cauldron?
Control over the Valg.
Well, obviously.
Well, someone
like,
said earlier that they consider that his, like, humanity. I know he's Fae, but whatever the Fae version of humanity is. Like
Oh.
his like, what the fuck do you call it? Free will, I guess. A little bit of free will.
Or instead of subtraction, what if just like how Nesta stole from the cauldron, so she was
He amped it up so it's just more uncontrollable.
like, and Elaine was given things. What if Rhys was given things?
Even more Valg. What the fuck? Dude, even before he died in Akawar, Feyre was like, he was still too far gone in that beast to do anything but growl at Tarquin. I was like, this, to quote Thiessen, this does not bode well. Like, huh? Again, I don't like yielding myself wholly to that beast. Why? Why are you the only one who has trouble with it?
I don't know if
That's a good point.
I don't know if I would say that. I think Tamlin struggles with his.
I mean,
Tamlin.
I don't know if he struggles with his beast more than just the basis of how strong the magic is.
Oh wait, no. I take that back. Because Tamlin has more of a problem with his true form.
Yes.
Not his beast form.
Yes.
Not his glamour form.
His fae form, like Aelin. Yeah. When Aelin would explode and she's like, this magic is so uncontrollable, I could hurt anybody. That's why she didn't want to turn back into a fae. But that actually really scares me because I hate the theory of everyone saying like, well, Tamlin should just turn into a human and go live a human life in the human lands. I'm like, I hate that. Because they're like, he loves the humans and he hates having his explosive power and he would thrive as a human and then he could just age and die and blah 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 blah. I'm like, I don't like that.
Thrive.
I don't
think he would thrive.
Thank you. I don't think he would either. I think it would be like a fun little experiment he could do with Briar is like, okay, you be human for a day and I'll be fae for a day and then we'll see what we can do. I like I know. I actually it was so funny. And I don't know where my fucking head was at. But when I was doing one of the chats, like she wanted to go back to the human lands to get her best friend and Andrus's child because they had like it was a whole thing. And anyways, so they were gonna go get his half fae child to bring him back to the spring court. And so they had to disguise, like shapeshift into humans. And he shapeshifted into like this just like generically handsome brunette guy. And I forget what he named himself. I think it was like Andrew or in my last one where they did that, he named himself like Richard. Like it was something so stupid. But she was like, you're actually a really handsome human. And he's like, oh, so you like my human form too. And then they went to like a little cottage and things ensued, which were kind of fun as an experiment for Tamlin. He was literally like, well, I'm not as big as my fae form, but it'll do. He was like, oh. She was like, you are fine. It's fine. And she's like, this is my normal form. Like, I'm used to being a human. And he was just having so much trouble. So much trouble. But it was so funny. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. It would just be really funny and erase the tension if there was a scene of just, him and Briar and him experimenting being a human for a day.
Like Dorian.
I literally don't think he would be able to do it. And I could even see Lucian making a bet with Briar. Like, how long do you think he'll last as a human? And him just being like, hey, I could do it if I wanted to. And Lucian's like, bet. I just think that would be such a funny scene. Hilarious. I would love it.
You're getting me all like amped up for Tamlin's book that I want to happen so bad.
I know. And then but it would be funny because on the flip side, he'd be like, oh, and you think you can make it as a fae? And then Briar would just literally thrive as a fae.
He's like, what?
She's like, woo! She's going around the villages. They just adore her already. And he's like, what the hell? He's like, you've been here for 2 days and they've pledged allegiance to you. But no, they're High Lord for 500 plus years. They're making up stories about me.
Oh,
Being a beast.
Tamlin.
I just totally see the Spring Court like adoring her immediately, and him being like, this is really like they adore her in a way that they didn't even adore Feyre, and just kind of being like, this is interesting, and still being the naive person that said your hair is clean, and like, why is this happening, and why do I feel drawn to her? Like, gee, Tam, I wonder. And Lucian's gonna like smack him upside the back of the head and be like, dude, she's your mate. Hello. Like, I feel like it's gonna take him a bit to clock it. Either that or it's gonna happen immediately the next time they see each other, like a Lucian, and he's not gonna know how to handle it. And just go in a full
He's the
spiral.
most beautiful human I've ever seen.
Oh.
Or he's gonna like remember her and be like, this is why I need his inner thought. Like, I need his POV so bad. I need his POV. I need it. No, because I'm not gonna stop bringing it up, because how the fuck is she running and jumping with burns and lashes? How?
She has
As
to
a
be.
human, Feyre couldn't even take that under the mountain.
I think she's half Fae.
Or half witch, or half, I don't know.
She's either half witch or half Fae, because she kind of reminds me a little bit of Miriam.
Yeah. Oh, I
Mhm.
had that whole theory too. I forget if I asked you about this on the podcast. Did I tell you about the Briar being a princess theory on here?
I don't think so.
I said that what if she is related to one of the human queens? And what if she is actually Vassa's replacement? Because remember how they were talking about Vassa's replacement, which I thought was really weird? Or they were like, oh, and the other one would have been so much worse. Remember?
Kind of vaguely.
How they're like,
Vaguely.
oh, Vassa is so fiery and she curses like a sailor and she's like so impossible to deal with because it's like her way or the highway or whatever. And then they're like, well, you should have seen the other option. So, like, what if Briar is also like a princess and was supposed to be like a human queen? If Vassa dies, she would get like the throne, right? And I could see her as a human queen and Tamlin as the High Lord of Spring, like finding out their mates, and that's how like the humans and the Fae, make up after this whole 500 plus year shit, because they could bring their territories together again.
That would be interesting.
That would be really nice, I think.
Huh.
Because remember, he was like, oh yeah, we used to be friends with the humans and they used to live among us and we weren't separated. There was no wall. Like, everybody just lived among everybody. And he's like, that's what I would have wanted if I was born back then. Like, that's what I would have wanted to experience, living among them. And because their lifespans are so interesting and fascinating. And I love how they do so much in their short life. And I'm like, there ain't no way Tamlin isn't ending up with someone who is human. Come on.
I hate that, though. I hate that so much.
Well,
she's not going to stay human.
Technically, he's still cursed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also, she's not going to stay human. Again, he can shift people down to like DNA or whatever. I would love if they were, I said this before, I would love if they were Karanim and she decided that she wanted to be the High Lady, and then they like set a date for him to shift her into like a High Fae, and then because his magic is so overwhelming to him, and if they were Karanam, it would be split between them, right? So it would take some of the load off of him, and she would also be able to use that magic too. So healing, shifting. So that way, if she wanted to shift from human form to Fae form, kind of like Aelin, she would be able to do that too.
I love that.
And that was the
I
one
want it.
hitch that I had with my theory. I was like, okay, but if he shifts her into a high Fae, like she still won't have magic. And how would that work if she's high lady? Unless, obviously, the lands choose her, which I still want the lands to choose her. But I think it would be really nice if they were Karanam and she could also use his magic.
What if she was given siphons?
Maybe. Like if she was like a witch, like if the siphons bring out witch magic.
Something like that, yeah.
I keep saying that they should give Tamlin like a giant fucking green siphon to put on his chest. But at the same time, if he is the foil to Rhys, then it wouldn't work because Rhys's powers just exploded them. So I feel like Tamlin's might too, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, I feel like that would be the easiest fix though. Like, oh, give Tamlin a siphon. Or a few siphons. Or 12 siphons. I could just see Tamlin being like, you have 7 siphons, I have 12, motherfucker.
So Tamlin is Rhys's foil, right? I think Vasa is Feyre's.
She is. Yes.
Why do you guys say that?
Lucian compares her to Feyre.
Yeah.
Right in front of Feyre.
Right to Feyre's face.
So what if Tamlin and Vasa get together? I don't see it happening, but just on that parallel alone, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like Vasa's too much like Lucian. I think she would press his buttons too much. I think that's why her and Lucian get along so well, because they're like long lost twins. Like, come on.
Mhm.
They have the exact same personality. I'm like, Lucian, she swears like a sailor. How many times did you say cauldron boil me in book 1? That's like the equivalent of a swear. Like,
what if Vasa is the reincarnation of Jasminda? But they were never supposed to be named.
Oh,
I would like it more if Elaine was. And they were supposed to be. Because reincarnations aren't the same exact person. It's just like the sharing of a soul.
I love Jasminda, but I need him to fall in love with someone new. I think he needs that like fresh life. You know what I mean?
Well, so the thing is, he never got closure with Jasminda because he can't enter Autumn. And so he's never been to her grave.
Oh, do you think we'll get a grave scene?
Yeah, so I think him and Elaine, once Eris becomes High Lord and gets rid of his bounty, I think they're going to visit her grave, and it's going to mirror the Aelin Sam Rowan scene.
Oh.
That's
gonna
and then he's going to go with Elaine to Papa Archeron's grave. Yeah.
Or you guys, or Elaine goes to visit Papa Archeron's grave, and she's like noticing that someone's been placing flowers like on his grave.
Yeah.
And it's been Lucian.
It's Lucian. Yeah. He 100% would.
Yeah, he absolutely would.
He absolutely would.
So I actually
or like Nips.
Yes,
man.
I actually think that Elaine and Lucian are also going to visit the cottage, what's left of it. And
I think that's crumbled already, unfortunately. I would love that. I know you said that before. I would love that. But like, it was half gone when Nesta and Cassian visited it. There was no roof left. The walls were crumbling.
But the reason being is it would give Lucian closure for Andros.
Oh my gosh, you guys, these are such good ideas. Or like, what if Lucian somehow buys back, I know it's kind of morbid, but like the pelt of Andros that Feyre sold. in the market. That's
No,
kind of like
that is
morbid,
literally
but
like having the wings. No.
yeah, that'd be weird, wouldn't it? Like if he was like, "This is my friend's
Oh,
skin."
stop. Okay, wait. I just thought of something.
Oh
Okay,
no,
so
go
we
find
thought
it.
that Fury was the mercenary, right?
Here, stop.
Yeah.
And we thought that she was working for both sides, like Hell and the Asteri.
Mm.
What if she delivered the pelt to Koshi?
Didn't we already talk about this? Because we thought the mercenary was Fury.
I don't think we talked about Koshi having the pelt, though.
Oh.
What if he
What would he do
uses,
with it?
resurrect Andrus to torment them? He's a death god.
I mean, at that point, he may as well do that to Claire better, too.
Well,
Yeah.
they have no body parts of Claire better. But, like, it happened with Jurian. It happened with the Harpy.
I think Jurian would have gotten Claire.
Well,
Jurian.
I don't think he could have. I mean, he was taken out of there as an eyeball. And Tamlin crumbled the entrance. So he wouldn't have been able to go back. I don't think anybody gave two flying fucks about Claire, unfortunately. I don't. I think she's just bones at this point. She's just I think maybe if Koshi has people on his side that can get through walls, cough cough, Nuala and Caradwyn, maybe they could resurrect Claire and Andrus to torment them.
I mean, to be fair, Nesta could also go under the mountain and resurrect her from her bones, or at least bring her bones back.
But they have to get under the mountain. That's the point. Remember, Tamlin crumbled it, so they need a way through.
She could wear the mask and then command Claire to get up off her ass, her bony
bones.
ass.
All the bones. Just move the boulders out of the way.
Claire, get over here.
Okay, what if I'm waiting for a character to have telekinesis. Like I need anyone with telekinesis could be able to move the boulders.
Well,
technically it's Tamlin Rhys uses his shadow, his darkness to
we levitate things like the swords and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's
I feel like it would be Meryl.
Meryl could.
Meryl
like
is sus.
I'm sorry. I am more suspicious of Meryl than even Jurian. But I kind of think that Meryl is I think Meryl's working for the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it.
Just the way, just how much she hated Nesta without never even meeting her before.
Yeah.
Granted, she does have twilight eyes. And, what if Meryl was told, oh, what if you're the Queen of Dusk? And then this other bitch gets chosen by the mother when you're literally one of the mother's handmaidens. Can you imagine being passed over like that? I've been working thousands of years for you, and you choose this new bitch.
Wait a minute. Okay, this is a crack theory, so heads up. It's a crack theory. What if Meryl is Rhys's sister?
I mean, I'm obsessed with Rhys's sister.
Glamored?
I don't even know her.
Yeah, like Glamored.
I
feel like white hair.
I feel like people would take it very badly if Rhys's sister Glamored herself into a black woman. And then just to go back to not being one, I was like, maybe not.
True, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so cute.
I know, everyone forgets. I'm like, yeah, she has dark brown skin and the twilight purple eyes. Meryl is the only person who has actual purple eyes, not Rhys. Meryl, purple eyes. Twilight purple.
She's gorgeous though. Oh my god.
And the Snow White hair.
Yeah.
I'm not letting go of the fact that she is the priestess from Tog.
I love Meryl. She's so pretty.
She's so pretty, but like nightmares in the face of dreams, like
Wait.
she confuses me. Like, why is she so mean to Gwen? And like, why are you automatically gonna hate Nesta? You've never fucking met her before.
Similar
But
to
then
Mor-
she's helping them. Like Nesta's like, oh, Gwen, can you ask Meryl to look up the Dread Trove, right? And then she does, like off page, and she's like, oh, Meryl somehow undid the bindings or whatever she said. Oh, the wards on the sentient books that are about the trove. And this is all she found. Bullshit. She didn't want to help Nesta. Bullshit. But also, how the hell is Meryl undoing wards on sentient books? She's like Jessica.
I think Meryl and Moore would end up together.
I could see that so much.
I could see that.
100%.
Yeah.
I would rather Meryl and Moore than Moore and Emery.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
they're
you
both awful to
know-
Nesta. They could bond over that. Their hatred of
No, it's gonna be Emery. We know it's gonna be Emery. Yeah.
No. I don't see it.
Yes. I bet you guys anything right now it's gonna be Emery.
No, because Sarah makes it a lot more obvious. Like, again, with Gwen and Azriel and stuff. Like, Moore and Emery never even speak on page.
I mean, she blushes at her, but that's about it.
Yeah. Like, Gwen blushes at Rhys. Yeah. I mean, Nesta says Azriel is the most beautiful bat boy. So does Feyre. He's the most classically beautiful bat boy. Like, you're both pining after Azriel, but you chose the other option? Girls, what is wrong with you? He's right there.
I mean, so is Lucian.
I know. What is wrong with them? And so was Eris.
Right? Like,
right?
Eris, Lucian.
Feyre could have had Lucian. Nesta could have had Eris. Either of them could have had Azriel. And they fucking chose the two worst males in the series. Why? Why? I don't understand. Help me understand. But I still think that Meryl is like Jessica. I think she was another priestess from Parthos. It's just uncanny. Like, down to their skills. I do love, though, how Jessica was like, I call myself a sorceress. Like, okay.
Oh, love that.
Give yourself a fancy title. Yeah. Meanwhile, Meryl's just like, I am descended from Rabath, the Lord of the Western Wind. Okay.
Wait,
like, y'all are doing too much.
What if Meryl and Jessica are from the Witch Kingdom?
I could totally see that. I could totally see that.
But Jessica was a human. I hated that twist, actually. I mean, I didn't mind it, but...
Yeah.
Oh, have you gotten to that part of How Fast? My bad.
No, not yet. I'm 3 hours into listening to it. It's okay, don't worry.
Anyway, she was one of the original Parthos priestesses who were humans, because she was one of the original people of Lunathian. The humans and the Mer were from there. So
she was.
The priestesses in the Library of Parthos were all human that had the magical amulets to protect the library. And so that's the amulet that she gives Bryce, the Archesian amulet.
Oh, wow.
She got away with a bunch of the books. And then when Apollyon rapes her, because he thinks the amulets were protecting something else wildly crazy other than books, because he thought it was foolish to put so much stock in knowledge, which I thought was odd. So he like rapes her because he doesn't believe her that it was only the books that she wanted to save with the magic. And somehow, kind of like how Hunt has the Thunderbird power from him, some of his magic went into into Jessica, and she got his magic, like a Prince of Hell's magic. So I'm like, oh, were they carrying him?
Interesting.
So they were carrying him because she could use his magic, but that's why she hated him so much, because he literally assaulted her, and that's how she got magic. Because it flowed between them, and she got a lot of his magic. And then she's like, I learned everything I could, and I turned myself into an older sorceress so I would be more respected. When she's literally like this really, really pretty, like early 20s girl with like blonde curly hair and blue eyes.
Wait, did she change her image, like how she looked too, to look older?
Yeah, she turned herself into an older looking sorceress so she would be more respected.
And so then does her like glamour come off at the end of the book?
She shows, she shows.
Jessica, I love you. I love Jessica's character.
I did art of her transformation.
Send it.
I'm gonna have to show it to you. I'm like, she's literally like early or like mid-20s. She just, the part of the Apollyon's curse was that she just couldn't age and couldn't die. So to combat that, she, like every couple decades or something, she says, she aged herself with the magic.
Oh my God.
Until she was like at an age where she thought looked like the best. And she like changed her appearance and everything. But I'm like, you're so pretty though. Why would you do that?
Seriously.
I kind of get it, like, oh, if you've been around for 15,000 years as a human, like, think about that. We live to what, 90s, 100, 15,000 years as a fucking human.
Wait, what if Jurian and Jessica get together?
Oh.
I think it would be cool if he saw her in the cauldron, but she's dead now. She traded her soul for Bryce, but she was excited to die. She was like, 15,000 years, I'm fucking out. Please let me die. Please let me go in exchange of you. She was done. She was done. She was like, I have lived long enough. Go, Bryce. Go be with your angel. She exchanged her soul for Bryce's.
Oh my gosh.
Wait,
and she gave her Griffin Antiquities. And like books and everything.
What if she's the child between Jurian and Vasa?
Oh, I would love that. I think that would be really cute.
I would too.
Little heir.
I would love, yeah.
Also, I love how they say that the Mortal Lands is really patriarchal, and they're like, marrying off their daughters with dowries and all of this. But then like they have queens, and the heirs are the daughters. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, just with Jessica, it was like, so at the very end of the book, when she exchanges her soul for Bryce's, and Apollyon is like there helping keep the black hole open or whatever, he obviously can't see what's happening in the other world when they're dead or whatever. But she's like, she gives her her amulet, and she's like, oh, it's the original source of magic for Midgard. So all this time, she's been telling everybody that Apollyon like assaulted her just because like he thought that, she had something else that was super important. And she's like, no, it's just the books. It's just the books. It's just the books. And at the end, she's like, yeah, it's the original magic of Midgard. So she did actually keep it from him. And he had no idea it was the necklace. He still doesn't know it's the necklace.
I love it. Fuck Apollyon. Look at it.
Right?
So he was right the entire time. He was right the
whole time. And she was like, you're fucking psychotic. And they hate each other. But they only work together to save Bryce. But that's why Adis at the end of book 1, book 2 was like, oh, you know him best. You know Hunt's father best, because it was Apollyon.
Right. Oh.
She's like, yeah, because she shares his magic.
Oh.
I was like, Jessica, you snowed a prince of hell for 15,000 years, finally got the death you wanted to overcome his curse. Brilliant. And still fucked him over.
I know. What is the original source of magic exactly? Like, what is it?
Well, so
Besides the amulet.
yeah, so you know how with the Asteri everything runs on first light because were taking everyone's magic and making it first light. That's where all the tech comes from.
Yeah.
So it is alluded to. We don't know yet because we are not in CC4 yet, but it's alluded to that the amulet will restore the planet to pre-Asteri magic, however it was beforehand. But Bryce was freaking out because she's like, we're running out of first light. We're not going to have anything to run our tech with. So I'm like, is Crescent City going to revert to being like Prithian?
I wonder.
Because the amulet is just going to, the amulet's going to restore the whole planet to how it was pre-Asteri. So like some of the humans will have, again, comes back to Ember though, because I actually just put this together. Comes back to Ember, some of the humans will have magic. Because if the priestesses of Parthos had some magic as humans, like the Tog humans, some of the Tog humans, like Dorian. Ember, can you imagine she restores the planet and she just comes home and Ember's like floating the cabbage babies with her hand, like, what did you do to me? Or like light is exploding from her chest, like Helion. I need her restoring the planet to give Ember her powers back.
So amazing. Because we're going to see more of Ember. We have to see more of Ember in CC4.
Okay, question. If Randall got magic, what kind of magic do you think he would have? I think it's funny that he was that he was a sun priest. Did anyone catch that? And he was destined for Ember.
Mates.
Humans, but mates.
Humans,
but then again, why did Einar have such a crazy connection to Ember?
Karanam?
Maybe.
Okay, but also, how funny is it going to be if we find out that the sun priests were worshiping like Helion? If like, if we find out the High Lords are like all of the gods too, and it's like Helion that Ember and like Randall are worshiping.
Like the Luna is Nesta, the Solace is like, okay, Solace and
is Rhys, like Eka said.
Well, Solace and Sathona, I still kind of really love that theory that they were Lucian and Elaine.
I know. I love that.
The embrace, because it's like the earth goddess and the sun goddess. Come on. I need to not be wrong about Ember having magic, so Sarah, please have her restore the planet. And because I think because she didn't know that originally, the antidote was kind of a temporary fix for certain people who needed to tap into their full magic. But I think once she does restore the entire planet, that's just gonna, bring everything back without need of the antidote.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just gonna automatically restore everybody. But then, like, are the humans gonna revolt like the Illyrians? Because they were not treated well.
Let's hope not.
I hope not. But I don't know. There's a lot of the Fae that are like Einar and Morven that were really angry at Bryce for taking their titles away, too. So, like,
I'd be pissed, too.
I know. Like, they could revolt against her. I don't know. And then the issue, everyone's like, the first light issue, the first light issue, the first light issue. Like, the first light issue isn't going to be a thing because she's going to restore the planet with the amulet. What's going to be a thing is the government. There's no active government. And I know in a utopia that wouldn't matter. But Bryce, girly, you cannot take everybody's titles away and think that everybody's going to be peachy keen and getting along. That is not how it's going to work, girl, unfortunately. Like, I get why she also kind of, quote unquote, erased her title too, because she didn't want to seem above everybody. But you were chosen and you do have the magic, so you are still queen whether you give yourself the title or not.
Mm-hmm.
They are still kind of lords and ladies whether they have the titles or not. That's going to be... It's not going to be good. But I also wonder if she's going to expand Crescent City. Again, like, I feel like this is the equivalent of needing more of a Nesta arc. We need a little bit more of a Bryson Hunt arc, if only to figure out the government shit. Because how is she gonna, like, weave that into, like, Ethan and Perry's book, and Therian and Sathya, and Hypaxia, and Fury? Like, there's all that dual stuff going on. And then it's like, yeah, you have, like, the wolves who are always going to have packs. You have the vampires that are always going to have covens. You have the witches that, you know, still want to have their queens and their hierarchies. So when she's like, everybody intermingles with everybody, it's like, not going to really work, though. Like, the system that was in place was working. Yes, it was awful to the humans, but in terms of just the, like, supernatural people, they were pretty fine to stay with their own people.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the city was fine because the city is where everybody can intersperse and, like, it's not illegal or anything. But they had their covens and their packs and their, you know, I don't know how she's going to write this government arc into the next romance arcs of Crescent City.
I don't know how she's gonna even write a CC4, to be honest with you. I mean,
she would have to have at least 6 books in the Crescent City series to me.
Yeah.
Because I think she needs a whole book on restoring the government and how each of the different sanctions will work going forward. And then I think she needs kind of like ACOTAR. She needs the Therian Sathya book, the Ethan Perry book, the Hypaxia and whoever she's going to be with, and the Fury book. So I think Hypaxia and her love interest and Fury's stuff could be all in one book. But then and then Ethan and Perry, Therian and Sathya in one book, and then like the book of fixing the world.
Yeah.
You know?
That would make so much sense.
So